Okay, so our next speaker is Professor Yannick Estève. He is a full professor at Avignon University, which is in France. And he is also the head of the computer science laboratory of Avignon since 2020. He has authored and co-authored more than 150 journal and conference papers in speech and language processing. And he has been part of like the SpeechBrain team as well for quite a long time, because Avignon is like helping a lot in the development of SpeechBrain. So, well, Yannick, the stage is yours now.
Thank you, Tito. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to share my screen. Something like that. Yeah. Does it work? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very nice. So I would like to present an overview of the research work we are doing or we did recently in Avignon by using SpeechBrain. And especially, I would like to present also the contribution of the LIAvignon partnership share. So I'm going to explain. So the computer science laboratory of Avignon has been created in 87, and historically he worked on speech processing and speech recognition. Oops, there's something strange in my. Everything is okay to side? Okay. And so this laboratory worked on speech processing and for a long time. And so he worked on by using symbolic intelligence, artificial statistics, and a deep neural network. So the laboratory is located in south of France, and there is a team that is dedicated to speech processing. And this team is about 40 people. Including 11 permanent and 20 PhD students and also postdocs. In addition, I can say that this laboratory, so the LIA, has been involved in a lot of different open source projects because of its age, and so it uses to be involved in some open source project or to use open source projects. So in relation to the SpeechBrain project, we are involved in the SpeechBrain since the start, thanks to Titouan, because Titouan is one of the co-founders of the SpeechBrain project, and he was in Avignon at this time. And so we started in Avignon using the SpeechBrain very at the beginning, before the first release, because you use it for beta tests, and we wanted to see what we are able to do with that. Because previously, for instance, on my side, I used SPNet to work on machine and speech translation, for instance. And so I was very interested by this new tool. And what is very interesting in my point of view in SpeechBrain is that it is very easy to use, and it is very easy to get inside the code. While the toolkit is very powerful, we can use it. It is very effective. We can use it in multi-GPUs. We can plug third models. It's very interesting for that. And this last years, we received also some funds. So Titouan received some funds by some sponsors like Via Dialogue. I think Ariane will talk in the next presentation, but also from Hugging Face and other labs, in order to recruit some people to help develop SpeechBrain. So what is very important, Miko already said that in his presentation, is that now with the deep learning paradigm, we are able to use a unique paradigm in order to process different topics in speech processing, but also in natural language processing. And so it's very interesting now to get only one toolkit, because when you are in a team with different groups that work in different topics, if you can share some models, if you can share some experiences, some skills, it's very important. I think you can gain a lot of productivity in terms of research. So of course there are also other open source solutions like SPNet anymore. We also used by the past, and we continue using it now, KD, for instance, but it's not exactly the same thing. So we use SpeechBrain a lot, and in this presentation, I would like to make an overview of different recent published research work made in LIA. So you have here some pictures of people working on SpeechBrain in Avignon, but some people are missing because I could not talk about all the works. So I apologize to my colleagues that are not in this presentation, but I had to go fast. For instance, in the speech recognition, so in speech transcription, we worked with Solène, and I saw that she's present today. Solène and all the team from Laboratory of Grenoble. We worked on developing wave-to-vec2 models for French, and we used SpeechBrain for the ASR experiments. So these models are available on Hugging Face, and there are also recipe in SpeechBrain to use these models to process French on common voice, but you can also, of course, apply these models in other kind of French data. And we could see, and we presented this, we published these results in a new risk paper, that by using an SSL model fine-tuned in a specific language, you really outperform the result you could get by using other kind of SSL model trained on multilingual data or something like that. I don't have the time to go very deep into each work. I just want to make a brief overview. We also used, so it is Luca. We also worked on by using SpeechBrain to evaluate the robustness in terms of biases of such wave-to-vec2 models. So we used the benchmark model, and we made a study about what happens according to the information we have on the speakers used during the fine-tuning or during the testing. So there are a paper on interspeech that was presented last week about this. So it is very interesting. So we could do that very easily by using SpeechBrain. Adele, that is also present and is very is a part of the member of the core team of SpeechBrain, also makes some research work, and for instance, on the new stable version of the light group, sorry, that was proposed by Mirko some years ago. So he proposed a way to fix the problem of exploding the gradient, and so this was presented in this paper. This work was presented in ICASP on June this year. So it was made by using SpeechBrain again, and there is a version of the stabilized light group available in the SpeechBrain code source now. We also work on spoken language understanding. So to be honest, I think it is the first thing I started working on SpeechBrain some years ago with Gael, and so this task consists in recognizing the categories and the values you can have in speech, especially in this task here on human-machine dialogue by telephone here. And the goal is to extract some concepts, some semantic concepts, and to associate the value. So it's not just voice command, as we can see in different benchmarks. It's more challenging because you have complete sentences, you have a history of the dialogue to handle. There's a lot of things to do with that. And the chance we have is that we have the data with this task labeled in French, but we have also a small part of a small data with the same semantic annotation, but in Italian. So it's very interesting because we can work on portability from one language to another one, and especially from French to Italian. So we got very nice results, but French and Italian are very close languages. So now we are trying to work on Tunisian. So it's something in progress. And for instance, Salima was in Mila this winter working on that, and I hope that very soon we will have some results about that. So yes, so the current approach we are using handled a model that is called SAMU-XLSR. That is something like an XLSR model, a wave-to-vector models that have been enriched semantically. So this model has been fine-tuned. So it is a wave-to-vector model that has been fine-tuned in order to generate sentence-level embeddings that are very close to the LAPC, the ones made by the LAPC model. So LAPC model is a language agnostic paired sentence embedding. So it's you are using coarse bimodality, so text and speech, in order to generate, before the fine-tuning of the final task, that is the spoken language understanding task, we try to inject some semantics in the wave-to-vec model to be sure. So don't hesitate to contact Gael for more information, or other people in LIA, because we are several people working on this kind of model, if you want some additional information. So there are different papers about this spoken language understanding task that have been presented. So the last one was presented last week in Interspeech. So there are other papers that are listed in the Google Scholar page of the Gael's Google Scholars page. And there is also a SpeechBrain recipe dedicated to this French dataset. That is a very famous dataset for French, but one of the more challenging, I think, in all the languages, and that are available all over the world. Recently also we worked, so it was a work made by Tuan and by Salima and of course there was I didn't put it on the paper, but I think it helped a lot. Federated learning for speech recognition, especially by using wave-to-vector models. So that this is a work that has been done by using jointly SpeechBrain and Flower. That is a toolkit dedicated to federated learning. And so we got very interesting results by using this approach, and the paper has been presented in ICASP in 2023, so 2 months ago. And also, so the code is not available in the as a SpeechBrain recipe because it involves another toolkit, but the source code is available on GitHub, so it has been released by Tuan. So you can see that we processed a lot of different kind of topics, but it's not we did also something different by using SpeechBrain. So we work also in speech translation. So we work in speech translation, and we participated to different the 2 successive evaluation campaigns in the International Workshop on Spoken Language Technology. So in 2022 and 2023, by using SpeechBrain, before we used another one, we used SPNet. And so in these campaigns, we focused on low resource tasks. That means we want to make some translation from Tamashek, that is the language spoken in the north of Mali and Niger, sorry. And the idea here that we don't have the transcription of Tamashek. We just have the translation of the spoken Tamashek. So the task is very challenging. And I didn't put the result here, but last year, so in 2022, the best team, because we also organized a task about that, the best team got a blue score of 5, so very low. While this year, by using exactly the same data to train the model, where the best team gets 23, a blue score of 23. So it's very interesting, and this kind of result can be reproduced by using SpeechBrain. So currently there is only the recipe from last year in SpeechBrain, but we expect to propose a better recipe very soon that use different models, like for instance the Samix LSR I already presented in the Gael's work on spoken language understanding. So it is the same. The core of this approach is the same as the one we used in multilingual spoken language understanding. We can use that for speech translation. That it is very interesting. Speech translation is a little bit harder because we have to use larger models. I have a problem. I cannot. Yes, it's okay. Yes, that's right. And in addition to this work, we also have a research work on speech synthesis that is made by Jared. So I know he's present today too. So the main objective we have in this project is to preserve the expressivity for speech-to-speech translation. So we don't focus on speech synthesis, but we made our first experiment on speech synthesis because to make speech-to-speech translation, because the previous work I presented is speech-to-text translation. Here we want to, starting from speech, we want to generate a synthetic voice in the target language. But the main objective of this research work is to preserve the expressivity, the emotion, if you want. It's not exactly emotion, but it's something like that. If the source speaker is speaking loudly or softly, or fast or not, we want to preserve this. And of course, if there are some emotion that is brought by the speech, we also want to preserve this in the translated speech. So first, Jared proposed a method that use multilingual emotion embeddings. And so he made different experiments that has been presented also in a paper recently, I think this weekend. And the idea is that by using an emotion encoder that made by multilingual emotion embeddings, you can inform a vocoder that starts from discrete speech unit. I don't have time to go into the detail, and we can keep this information about the initial emotion. Sorry, sometimes I have some problem. Okay, so this work has been presented this weekend in the workshop. There is a satellite event of interspeech in Grenoble. And now the current work, the current Jared's work is about speech-to-speech translation by reusing the idea he already explored by using multilingual emotion embeddings in order to apply them in a complete and entire speech-to-speech translation, and it's got very nice result. So this work has been submitted in a conference, and it is under review. So we got the first feedback, and I'm very optimistic about the fact that this paper will be accepted. And what we saw is that there is a recipe that is under a pull request status. So it's not a recipe, but there is a pull request about this recipe for speech-to-speech translation in SpeechBrain. So another work, another contribution. So as you can see, there are a lot of different research works, and I didn't talk about all the works we are doing because I am limited in time. But I would like to discuss about something else. So yes, we are an academic laboratory. We are doing academic research, but we have objective in terms of dissemination and about technology transfer. And how to say that? What we want is to make open science. So we want the work we are doing is available for all the community, but we need human resources to do that, because often in the laboratory you make some research work, but the code you are doing or the experiments you are doing is not very nice to be easily or not so simple or not so documented in order to be used or reused by other people, except for specialists like you. So what we want, we want to share the feelings and our findings, but we want to share the codes. We want to share the data when we can, because of course sometimes we have some limitations in terms of licenses. And we want our work is embedded in a bigger project in order to be a part of a community like SpeechBrain. So it's very important for us to be able to contribute to SpeechBrain, to be a part of this, and to take benefit also from the works made by the other people that work in SpeechBrain, academics or industrial. So by using such toolkit, you can easily share your technology, because you say, yes, I'm working on an open source project, so the code is available. We master this code. We know how to make some experiments. So if you, as an academic research laboratory, we want to work with the company, the company knows that it will be easy, almost easy to transfer the tool, because there are a lot of documentation, but there are also some community that can help to master the technology that is used to the work we want to transfer. So it's very important for us. But we need funds, we need resources. So it's not only for SpeechBrain, but more generally, we start this partnership chair to make open science for voice, for speaker and speech research, with an association with different companies. So there are some big companies like Airbus or Orange or Vision, but we are also French or European companies. But we have also Valisoft, that is a company from United Kingdom. We have the Cerco IA group, that is an African group from Ivory Coast. We have Orchis, that is a company from Aix-en-Provence, close to Avignon, and we have another academic laboratory, that is the a national laboratory about certifications and evaluation. So thanks to this partnership, we have some resources, some funds, and some fundings for PhD students, something like that, that can help us to contribute to research and to share everything, because the core of this partnership, of this chair, is that everything that is done in this chair is shared to the community. And very recently, we have a new member, that is the INRIA, that is joining us in this project. That INRIA, it's a very big academic French organism in terms of research in computer science. So I think I'm closing time, so I have to speed up. So the goal of this partnership is to work on voice, speaker, and speech. And we have a scientific program about voice speaker recognition, about machine translation, language recognition, about speech to text and speech to concept extraction. We have also some part about pathological voice. So this is something that we want also to continue exploring with Corinne Frodouille, that is a professor in Avignon University. And for now, the contribution I presented before, just about machine translation, about speech to text, speech synthesis, something like that. But we have also some in-progress work using SpeechBrain about pathological voice and about speaker recognition. So we hope that in the next months, we will be able to provide new recipes and new findings to the SpeechBrain community. Okay. And so it is very important that, as I said, the LIAvignon chairs allow us to get some money in order to fund some open science project. And what is very important, I think, for the SpeechBrain project is that very recently the scientific council of the chair decided to found a research engineer dedicated to SpeechBrain development for 2 years. So it is hard. That was already researcher in a laboratory of Avignon that will be in charge of this position. So we are very happy to be able to provide this this very important resource for the SpeechBrain project. So as a conclusion, what I can say is that SpeechBrain for research has been tried and tested by us, and we are very happy about that. We are very involved, and we continue to with a lot of enthusiasm to support SpeechBrain. What I can say also is that it's very easy to discuss with the SpeechBrain team. I am not a part of the core team. I do my research work. I help the project how I can through the laboratory, through the chair, for instance. But there is nothing how to discuss with the team. It's very interesting. It's a very good spirit in the SpeechBrain team. So I appreciate it a lot, and it's very important when you do research. You spend a lot of time by working in your research, and so it's very nice to exchange with nice people. So that's all for me. I don't know if you have some questions. And I have some problem with my headphone. It's very strange. I don't know if you have the same problem, but sometimes I hear myself and sometimes I cannot hear myself.
We can hear you very well, Yannick.
Okay, so maybe it's an issue only on my side.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, first of all, before maybe the questions, I would like to officially thank you, you and your lab, right, for the great support that you're giving to SpeechBrain, right? It's like, I think the Mila-LIA collaboration is like an example of a very good and fruitful collaboration that we may have also with other partners, hopefully in the future, but that's really, really great. So maybe while people are thinking other questions, one question for you, since you gain a lot of experience with SpeechBrain, you and your team, I'm wondering what do you think are the main room for improvement, the main direction that you think we need to improve for the future?
I think it depends on your point of interest. If you are talking about the text, I think something about streaming, about yes, live processing is very important. In my opinion, also, I'm not sure that is shared by everyone, but in the SpeechBrain team, I think an effort in order to make the integration of SpeechBrain into industrial software could be very interesting, because this can help us to get some money to find the project. You know, it's very SpeechBrain is very nice tool for research, but I think it can do more. Of course, there are some industrial partners that can say that they can use SpeechBrain, but maybe we could put this easier for them.
Yeah, that we totally agree. Like the streamability is just something that we are taking seriously, and we will discuss later. And yeah, nice. Some kind of more discussion with these industrial partners to figure out what they need and see if there is like compromise. That will be really great. Thank you for that, Yannick.
No, very nice. You're welcome. And I'm very happy to see Renato. I think he wants to speak.
Yeah, sure, Renato. Do you wanna say something?
You need to allow him then, because
yes.
Mics are muted by default.
One second, Renato. Okay.
Yes, no. I think you can hear me now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very pleased to hear this presentation, and I would like to say hello to all of you, especially those who worked with me in the past, like Tuan and others. And as I am still, I'm still working in these things. I'm particularly interested in doing error analysis. So I was discussing with Mirko before about doing it, and I really would like to continue working on it, because errors will has been in the past, at least, a good thing for having inspiration on how to improve a tool. Now, SpeechBrain is a very complex tool, so probably an error analysis won't be very useful for that. But in any case, it is important to, for example, to consider if the two different systems have more or less the same errors or not. If the errors are different, then it is important to think about the differences between two different tools, etc. So just to let you know, I'm interested in these things. I spoke with Mirko. I think he is aware. I'd be very glad to interact with Yannick too, because I am still part of the Avignon University. But what is going on is really excellent. I'm really very, very happy. And of course, I'm also happy to see Tituan, because I was with him when he was younger and when we were still a student. So, well, just keep in mind that if you're interested in working on errors, I'd be very happy to interact. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Renato. And
Thank you,
I. Okay, I think we have to move forward. So let's thank Yannick again for the talk and presentation of all what is being done at Avignon University, whether it is in terms of research or tech transfer with help to SpeechBrain, which is very, like as Mirko said, very important.
Yannick, maybe. Do you have time for that, or we have to switch?
I think we have to switch, right?
Okay, so we can reply on the chat, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let's move to the next speaker, because I think the schedule is quite tight. But Yannick, you can answer in the chat if you want, I think.